Welcome to Media Copilot. I'm John Biggs, and today on the show we have Viktor Shpak. He's an old friend and a developer that I've worked with over the years from VisibleMagic, and most recently he and I have been exploring the technology of AI. Welcome, Viktor.
Hi, John. Happy to be there.
Yeah. So, look, first I want you to tell us a little bit about what you've been working on specifically in terms of the AI technology associated with this. And then let's talk a little bit about all the questions that we always get, which is, can I install this on my own computer? Can I get my boss's voice piped into my brain? That kind of thing. What is like a pipe dream and what is actually feasible right now? So why don't you talk to us a little bit about VisibleMagic and what you guys are working on?
Okay, so at VisibleMagic we work with technology what is, in broader terms, we were focused on Web3 and blockchain applications. And during the 2023, we started to lean to include AI angle into the products we develop and works on. So we work on different things, and AI is one of the major focus right now because there are a lot of interest in this area.
Okay. So in theory, the biggest question we always get is, can I train a model by myself and run it on my own server so I don't have any of the issues associated, or I mean, I guess the perceived issues associated with using a large language model that someone else is hosting? Everybody's worried that OpenAI is going to steal my information, right? If I put my private company information into there, ask it questions, I'm worried it's going to be taken. Microsoft might have a solution. There are a couple of people have a solution, but is there a all-in-one solution that's available right now?
Yeah, this is really good question. Like recent publications show that the data used for training of the large models can be extracted from it by some degree. And this is very new and interesting angle to exploit those models. Although this is a computationally heavy process by itself, you can definitely train your models or fine-tune your models, I would say, up to your data, okay? And it doesn't require you like tens of millions, like the original investment to train really large models there. But it requires some hardware to be able to run this stuff locally. And yeah, you can train what do you want to do, but you need quite significant amount of data. It's called corpus. So you need a quite large corpus to train the model what you actually want to.
So I think we talked about this before, but the idea of a corpus is what? All my emails, every single document that I wrote, my Google Drive. What does that look like?
Yeah, exactly. So originally, those large models being trained on completely unstructured data, like everything which being scraped or companies can get access to. And due to specific nuances of the architecture of these models, they can predict the next tokens. You know this very well. And in order to fine-tune or optimize without retraining all this stuff and providing significant amount of data, you need to pre-label something to tell the model what exactly you need to do. Like you need a like narrow subset of these tenths of thousand maybe samples, but it can be framed in a way which allows model to be fine-tuned for your specific reasoning. However, recent discovery shows that even the fine-tuning is not required because fine-tuning affects the performance of the models. It's also a costly operation, etc. And developers and researchers lean more to the prompting as a vehicle to fine-tune the output of the model on your data.
Okay, I think what you're talking about specifically is the idea that the AI basically talks to itself, right? Is that the idea there? Sort of like self-generation?
Not exactly. So with fine-tuning, you train the model and embed some portions, some blocks inside these layers, which affect the way the result appears in your output. But this is the prompt generation. So you can compress all your corpus, all your data, training data set, in the way which can be fit into the prompt you give into the model itself. And after this operation, model do not need heavy training. It's way faster to inference the output. So it generates, you can achieve all the same benefits, but without heavy time-consuming tasks to fine-tune the model, because fine-tuning requires quite significant amount of hardware and computational power.
Okay. So if I'm running a PR agency, or if I'm running a newsroom, what should I be doing right now in terms of technology? What should I be investing in? What should I be looking at?
Well, first we need to see where the most benefits can be generated by utilizing these AI models. If you have some repetitive process and if you have some information which you can employ on this, you can use them. The applications, I cannot say it's limitless, but apparently
it's limitless.
Everything.
Well, it's putting a lot of journalists out of work, so apparently it's doing something.
Well, not exactly, but it really helps. So the benefits of this stuff is McKinsey probably, as I do remember about this, they issued a report about how the overall performance of the workforce being affected by these models, okay? By utilizing the AI in the work, in real work. So the least performing percentile of employees became more productive. Okay, so like junior position or something, they skip over there, and they became much more productive with utilizing these AI tools on the work, like being this GitHub Copilot or something specific for a job or something like this. But it really has low effect on top type of employees. So it means that it allows you to do much more work at the same amount of time with less skilled people, like before.
Interesting. So basically, we're talking. I mean, I think that was the CTO of Microsoft. He basically pointed that out. The idea that manufacturers in the Midwest, in the heartland, right, and any manufacturing jobs, they went away, but those people had to reskill. But this kind of makes reskilling faster and better, right? Something like that.
Exactly. So I think what we do not see right now, but it's like around the corner, this advancement in AI and the interface we talk with computers, etc., will be much more important on during the road, like in 5 years, when we're gonna see, and we should see huge improvements in robotics. So that's gonna be huge, and people already working very hard on this. We just like that's gonna be a real problem.
Okay.
Not the ChatGPT itself.
Not the knowledge workers. Are you worried as a developer about your job? or are you guys using it that much?
Well, this is pretty interesting question. Okay, we do use this stuff, and we do explore the possibilities to like everyday routine in our operations. To I don't know, from using like consumers to summarize videos, some reports, wherever it is, to search operations, to code comprehensions when we type. GitHub Copilot is a very useful thing. ChatGPT is super useful. So it allows to save and be much more productive and save a lot of time, which we need. In broader terms, the industry and software development industry, it's it's all about people. It's customers, developers, etc. So I don't think it's going to be a one-man shop which can do do and support large models. Large software. As it's all a communication issue. So software development is all about communication and writing down some instructions.
Okay. So that's an interesting point. You're saying that the base level stuff, the stuff that I would use GPT for, like say like, oh, okay, like I need a program that's going to auto tweet a RSS feed like for me. And I wrote that a couple years ago by myself, and I kind of did it with some Stack Overflow. I did it with just figuring things out. And now all I have to do is just ask it and it just pops out. So I have the baseline knowledge of a fairly skilled script kiddie / Linux sysadmin, I suppose, like at my fingertips. So that allows me to build better things, I think. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. So actually, this type of work, which artificial, which large language models is good at, is the subset of augmented retrieval data. So the model can infer something which is sort of already in the database, or like some algorithms, wherever. But to comprehend the large-scale problem, to create a poem. Okay, the ChatGPT can create a poem, and modern software has a lot of code base. Source code base at the same amount like a poem or something like this, like big volume of data of code to think around, which is coding algorithm, etc. And this is just not there yet. So maybe in the future, with like iterations of algorithms and especially the hardware, which is going to be used to do this, it might be possible. Yeah. And have you seen the Westworld series? Yeah. Do you remember how the developers there worked with this? The tablets or whatever it was, like folding tablets. So they were designing the semantic and flows of the information. Okay. But the way they work and affect this flow process was a little bit different than we used to right now. Because right now we code the instructions. Maybe in 10, 20, 50 years, the way we interact with computers is going to be completely different. But the problems are going to remain the same. To understand your counterparty, to transform this into like some process, protocols, wherever it is, and transform the inputs and generate the outputs. So it doesn't matter which tool you're going to use for this. And by the way, the very good topic there was that the robot was using this tool to code other robots. That was insane. It was super cool. So I hope we're going to be there soon, but probably not there yet.
Okay. So bottom line, just to summarize, it's possible to build your own LLM for your own office, I guess you could say. It's expensive, right? Would you say? And it might be computationally expensive as well.
Well, look, to create the model for like real large model, it's for for big enterprises, it's super cheap, like up to $10 million.
Okay.
So it's super cheap on the scale of the operations. To have to fine tune something more or less locally, you need to have a process, you need to have knowledge, you need to have some hardware to run this model, something like a GPU with 20 gigabytes of video memory to fine tune that stuff, or this is what we experimented with. If your workload is enough to, or can be encoded through the prompting or through the BAT prompting process, it can be loaded without the fine tuning, and you need less small resources to train the model. Okay. So it's even possible to run this on your MacBook if you have enough memory. Okay. The performance will not gonna be great as much, but have you seen the recent publications about
was Gemini Nano
Stable Diffusion Turbo?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. I just
Turbo.
yeah. I ran that on my own computer. That was fun.
That was fun, exactly. So bare bones Stable Diffusion was like unpleasant thing, but Turbo version is pretty much cool. And this enhancement is something like couple of months, and the same architecture being translated into LLM models. So there are some papers which show promising insight about that we can optimize our LLM. As a result, we're going to have much cheaper resources to run the inference on those models. So we can train and fine tune, I would say, and use them almost in real life. So take a look at the Gemini and different versions, Nano, Micro, etc.
All right. Well, very cool. So, Viktor, what's your website?
Our website is VisibleMagic.com.
So if you need some Web3 or AI, we'll go to you, right?
Yes, exactly. If you're gonna need some Web3 or AI, please welcome.
Yeah. All right. I'm not going to send them to blockchain because we don't believe in blockchain anymore. But it's all AI all the time right now. All AI.
Well.
For now. Thank you very much, Viktor. Viktor Shpak, VisibleMagic. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you guys next week.